Hey, it's Elizabeth with your weekly tasting, and this week's pack is BBQ Wines, wines for the grill. Now, we're offering this pack because traditionally we drink a 6-pack of beer, we grab any old wine from the grocery store. Grilling out is all about being casual, but I think that we can do a little bit better for you because there's some science behind grilling and why it would go well with wine. For instance, you know, when you heat up vegetables, apply fire to vegetables, it caramelizes them or makes them sweeter. With meat, it brings out the savory or umami elements in it. So when you add marinades and seasonings, you have a bunch of complexity that I think most people don't realize. So bold wines, bold food, it's gonna be fantastic together, and you can really make pairing magic if you do it right. So first we have a Chardonnay. It's for fish, it's for scallops, it's gonna complement a variety of dishes, side dishes, things with seasonings that are interesting. It's a fuller bodied, a little bit of oak on this wine, some tropical notes, some really bold fruit notes, but it also has citrus in it. It's not so heavy that it's gonna overpower the food. A fantastic pairing, and it's got a screw cap for outside. The Carmenere is an awesome medium-bodied wine. This is Chile's unique grape. It's gonna be great with grilled chicken, herb-rubbed chicken, or pork with herb rubs, vegetables with herb rubs or herb marinades. This is a fantastic wine, a little bit of earthiness, and a really nice smooth texture. The Barossa Valley Shiraz is going to be something that's got a little bit of sweet oak and a little bit of sweet fruit, and that's gonna go well with shrimp. It makes a lot of sense that, you know, these wines go with shrimp on the barbie because there's a lot of char note on a small piece of shrimp, and so that's gonna be fantastic. I had it with grilled pizza. I loved it because that tomato note went really well with the Shiraz. Finally, a traditional Cabernet Sauvignon from Argentina. Now, here you have tannin and fruit, and that's gonna make grilled meat or portobello mushrooms really velvety. I think you're gonna find all these wines to be awesome with grilled food. We're definitely gonna raise the bar on barbecue, and you're never gonna look at pairing between grilled food and wine the same again. So get the grill fired up and let's get going. Now, I put the 3 Rings Barossa Valley Shiraz in here because we needed a big wine that could go well with a lot of different things. Cabernet Sauvignon is delicious, but it really does do a lot better with kind of heartier, richer food, and the Shiraz can walk the line a little bit. Now, this is a hedonistic Shiraz, and it's gonna go well with virtually every type of barbecue, and that's why I picked it, because it can go well with shrimp, which has that really intense charred note. It can go well also with what I had it with, grilled pizza. Now, it's a little challenging to do grilled pizza on the barbecue, but if you can make it happen, this goes really well. You've got to put tomato-based sauce on it because that's where this wine super shines. It's fantastic. And anything, actually, frankly, if you decide you don't want to have this with barbecue, have it with some pasta with tomato sauce. It will be fantastic. So let's look at this 3 Rings Shiraz from Barossa. It's super dark in color, as you can see on my dorky white piece of paper, so I can actually see the color. Very dark, almost black purple in the center. Super thick legs from the high alcohol. Even though I was skeptical about the alcohol, it's very well balanced. Let's give it a sniff. Okay, well, this wine is all fruit and all pleasure. Clove, red plum, black cherry, black raspberry, dried cherry, mocha. Let's give it a taste. Okay, this wine tastes plummy and like dark berry and coffee, and again some chocolate, dark chocolate notes, and it's got a little bit of jam pie and cigar box. All that kind of is wrapped in here, and the texture's delicious. Good tannin, enough acidity to keep it light, and it really all comes together in a very nice package of balance. Now, the only tip that I'd give you with this wine is make sure that you don't have it with anything too spicy, because when you get alcohol levels this high, it creates a 5-alarm fire in your mouth. You don't want that. So just stick with grilled food or grilled pizza, pasta. You're gonna be just fine, and I know you're gonna love this wine. It's super hedonistic and delicious. This wine is the Coil Carmenere. It's a medium weight wine that is fantastic with grilled food like grilled chicken or grilled pork. It's gonna go really well with smoked or grilled eggplant or zucchini. It is smooth, it's classic, it's a great example of Chilean Carmenere. Now, the Coil Gran Reserva is from the Colchagua Valley, which is in the foothills of the Andes Mountains, which means that it gets sufficient water from the snow melt coming off of the mountains. It gets nice cooling breezes from the Pacific Ocean, and then at the same time it is at altitude, so it's getting a lot of direct sun, which means that the grapes get really ripe and beautiful. It's kind of a Mediterranean climate. So Carmenere is really a unique grape because it was a grape of southwest France, mainly Bordeaux, and then when phylloxera came and then there was a frost, it really went by the wayside. They barely use it in Bordeaux and it was nearly extinct, and then it was found growing in Chile being called Merlot. You'll see why they thought it was Merlot in a second. Let's taste this wine. First, we'll look at it. It's pretty dark in the center. That's from all of that ripeness and the color, the pigment that comes from having a lot of sun, direct sun on those mountain sides. Okay, give it a swirl. Now the wine smells like black fruit and dried berries, kind of like a black currant note to it, which is kind of like pear and blackberry together. It has a little bit of licorice, it has some menthol to it, and also a sense of green pepper, which you'll find in a bit of singed oak. Let's taste it. So the wine tastes just like what it smells like, a little bit more black fruit. The lovely thing about this wine is the texture of it. It's really smooth. It's got nice tannin, nice acidity, all balanced together with the alcohol and the fruit. It's really a lovely wine. It's gonna go really well with the chard note. The tannin is not so much bitter so that it will clash with the bitterness in the chard. If you tried the other wines first or read about them, you may know that they're kind of medium bodied because we're looking for a range here. But if you want a wine that's gonna go really well with steak, with portobello mushrooms, with burgers, look no further than the Pascual Toso Reserva Cabernet Sauvignon from Mendoza, Argentina. Now, it's gonna be a wine that you're gonna wanna sip while you're grilling, you're gonna wanna have with food, and it's gonna cut the bitterness from that char in the grilled burgers or steaks or eggplant or mushrooms. This is your it wine. It's gonna be all around maybe the MVP if you like really hearty notes. Now, Mendoza is mostly known for Malbec, but here we have a Cabernet Sauvignon, which is deliciously well balanced. It grows at 2,600 feet. Great day-night temperature swings, which means there's going to be a long growing season and lots of acidity and time for the fruit to ripen over the course of the growing season, which is fantastic. Now let's take a look at this wine. It's super dark in color. The skins get very thick with all of that ripeness and sunshine. Give it a swirl so that we can smell it and also see the legs from the alcohol. 14% alcohol is a decent amount of alcohol, but nothing that will be too bad with spice, which we found with the Barossa Shiraz, which you don't want to have with spice. The wine smells so good. It's got this black currant, which is kind of like pear and blackberry together. It's got some dark berries, some mocha, vanilla, some forest or woodsy notes, and let's give it a taste. Now what you'll find is all of the things I described in the taste, but really that oak comes very strongly through. 80% of this wine was aged in oak barrels, so you will get a vanilla, nutmeg, kind of sweet oak overlay on top of all of that black fruit, which is very tasty. Really, the thing about this wine that grabbed me was the texture. So it's got this smooth acidity, a smooth tannin. It's fresh, but it's lush, and it is really awesome after you decant it for about 20 minutes. Gosh, this wine is so drinkable. It really went very quickly in my house. I think it will in yours too. Make sure that you save some to try it with the food. It's that good. I know you'll enjoy it. Please don't tell me you thought I was gonna leave you hanging without a white for your barbecue. No way. I've got a screw top white, which is even better because it's super convenient. And this is the Cape Bank Chardonnay from Australia. And this is your wine with scallops, with grilled white fish, with chicken, with lighter side dishes, with some vegetables. All of those kinds of things are gonna go really well with this Chardonnay. And what's really great is if you have something with an herb rub, rosemary, black pepper, or paprika, this will go very, very well with that oaky note in the Chardonnay. So it's really full yet acidic. From the limestone coast of Australia, made from organic grapes. 50% of it goes through that malolactic fermentation, which turns kind of the green apple hard acid into a softer, creamier acid. And that same 50% is also going to go through oak aging. And the other 50% is left alone just to be that snappy, great, acidic Chardonnay. So the blend of the two is fantastic. Let's look at the color of the wine. Not as dark as a really super oaked Chardonnay, but still you're gonna get some pear color. It's gonna be a little darker because some of it has been through malolactic fermentation and oak aging, and we'll give it a swirl and smell it. So you're gonna smell the toastiness of the oak. You'll smell some vanilla. You will smell some fresh cut wood. That French oak is apparent here, but underneath that you'll also get pear and green and red apple, really ripe apple, some toastiness, a little bit of citrus. It's all very well integrated. Now let's take a sip. So when you taste the wine, you will get a sense of both the oak and the toastiness and the fruit all together. It's really well balanced, very well integrated, and there's a long finish. It's nice and mouth-watering with the acidity. It's a bit floral and tiny bit of bitterness, like the bitter skin of an apple, but a lovely wine. Gonna go great both with your lighter seafood dishes that are on the grill, your sides, and also just as a delicious sipper. So please enjoy. Don't drink it too cold or it will suppress some of those delicious aromas that I'm telling you about. Enjoy it. So that's the pack. Are you ready for your barbecue? Because I am ready for mine. I'm gonna drink some of these wines and take some stuff off of there, and you are gonna do the same. Give us feedback at weeklytasting.com and make sure you check back on Monday for the next available pack. Cheers.